Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, go ahead and click that subscribe button. If you're returning, welcome back. So today we're going to be doing a multi-dimensional blonde, and I call it multi-dimensional because that's what my client texted me. It's really just a dirty blonde color mixture, and I put the colors. I've also put the brand that I use down below in the description box, but I use color 4, color 30, color 27, and color 613. And you can actually buy the braiding hair of this from Expression, like already mixed up, but the curly pieces weren't mixed, and I was trying to figure out a way to mix it without it looking too much like ramen, because if you don't mix it too well, it's just gonna look like streaks, and that's not cute. So this is what I'm doing here. I'm kind of just laying them down on top of each other, trying to get them like mixed together, but that doesn't really work, but we'll see that later on. And these are small Goddess Knotless braids. You can book these on my site as a 3.0. It's small Goddess Knotless braids 3.0 plus Breezy wave, and then you pick the color that you want. Anyways, this is small, so we'll be doing 3 parts below the ear to ear line and 6 parts above the ear to ear line. I have more details on how to part and how many curls I add. Well, I did a lot more curls in this one just because I wanted it to be full, but usually I do like the 3.0, and that's available in my ebook. So you guys can go check that out. But I also have a parting video out for small knotless braids. You guys can also go check that out. But yeah, this is me parting out the first row, making that nice clean part down the middle, and then I'm gonna part the 2 sides and start braiding. You guys know I do bricklayer parting, or try to do bricklayer parting, because it doesn't always work. Note that it doesn't always work for all head shapes. It really depends on the head shape you have and how the braids lay. So after I finish parting out my section, I'm gonna go ahead and divide it into 3 parts, and then we're gonna start braiding. I usually add 3 to 4 pieces of braiding hair before I switch my hand placement, and you'll see this is the 3rd one I add, and then this is the 4th one I add, just to secure it. And then you're gonna see me switch my hand placement, and that just makes it faster for me to braid. Now I'm gonna start braiding all the way down. If you guys want a more detailed video, that will be the next braid that I do, but I kind of wanted y'all to show. I just wanted to show you guys how I did the first braid. This is me adding a piece of hair, but I just felt like the angle that I got it wasn't good enough to teach you guys. But yeah, adding a piece of hair, I thought it was too thick, so I took some out, and I'm gonna continue to braid down using gel to slick down the curl so it stays in place. And then after I've braided down 2 to 3 to 4 times, I'm going to take a clip the curl out the way, and then braid the rest of the way down. Now I do end up adding like 3 curls to this, and I end up adding like 2 to 3 curls to each braid. But yeah, and you're going to see me stop here and show her the braids, the 2 braids that I did. And just because I wanted to get her ideas on it as well, of course, you know, these are her braids, she's the one who's going to be wearing them. And then we realized that, you know, it was given noodles, it was given stringy. So I blended the hair even more. Yeah, it took time. I was here for 9 hours this day, and I don't know if you can tell the difference, but this is the first 2 braids. You can kind of see, like, I don't know, it wasn't as blended as the last braid that I did, and they both have the same colors. So yeah, just look, you can see that 613 and that 30 very well, but in the braid all the way to the left, it looks more blended. So I'm going to show you guys how I went about blending it. So of that mixture that I said before, that's why I said it was a problem, because it wasn't mixed enough, I'm gonna start mixing it like I mix braids. Like, you know how you part it? Yeah, it's not too easy to do with curls, because well, it's curls, and you have to do it at the top, and you have to make sure that the curls don't get out of place, because it's going to be hard to use. And they did get a little out of place, and it was a little harder to like work with, but it was okay. So I'm going to keep doing it until I feel like it's been mixed enough. And afterwards, I don't show it, but I cut off like the top just so that like all of them are even and it's easier to pull or like use. But yeah, I'm just going to continue doing it until it gets to a nice mixture. Yeah, and when I see any of them or any of the curls are like haven't been mixed enough, I'm gonna go in and separate that until it looks like this. Yay! Okay, yeah. So this is me doing just the back. I'm trying to get to a point where I can get like a better angle of me like doing one of the braids. But the first row has 4 parts, the second row has 5, and third row has 6. That's usually how many parts go on like an average size head. Mind you, if your head's a little small, you're gonna have less parts. You're gonna start with 3 at the bottom. Your head a little big, you're gonna start with 5 at the bottom. It really just depends. But yeah. Okay, so here's me doing it at a better angle. I divided it into 3 sections, and I'm going to go ahead and start braiding. I'm going to go once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and this is my stopping point. I'm going to go ahead and add a piece of hair, braid again, add a piece of hair, braid again, braid again, add a piece of hair, and I usually do it 3 times just to make sure that the base is secure. After I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and switch my hands, and this is a much easier way to like control. I'm also tucking her hair, so this is just a better way to tuck, just with my hand placement. So as I'm braiding, I'm tucking, braiding, and tucking. So not only was I adding curls, I was tucking. Now this is me adding hair. I take a piece of hair and I take the blunt end, and the blunt end goes in the middlemost strand. I'm going to add the curl to the middle strand and the rightmost strand. That's what you see me doing here. See it, like I said, I should have just got it from an upper angle. But the middle strand, you see it comes over to the left side as it switch places with the left strand, and then I switch places again with the rightmost strand, and that strand comes back to the middle. Honestly, it's just like adding hair. I've got a couple of videos on adding hair as well, but when you add curls or when you're adding anything, you're really adding it to the middlemost strand and the rightmost strand. And then braiding is just kind of like a rotation. You just got to realize the rotation. And if you're tucking, when you tuck hair, you're kind of just covering their hair with the braiding hair, and like just going over it, if that makes sense. And it's easier to tuck when you have more braiding hair than you do have the person's hair. That's why usually at the beginning of the braid, it's going to be like the person's hair is going to be darker. But as you go down like an inch, you shouldn't see your client's hair anymore. You should be focusing on covering their hair with the braiding hair. Yeah, and if you are tucking, when I do tuck, I do like to use smaller pieces, because I can control the thickness, because you don't want it to be thick, and I can also manage adding hair to cover my client's hair. But I make sure it's like thinner. Here I am, because I picked up a piece of hair and it wasn't as blended as I'd like it to be. So here I am just going ahead and blending it some more, and this is what I did like the whole time for the whole appointment, because I just didn't know like I needed to blend it more beforehand. But yeah, braiding down a bit, adding the hair to the back and the rightmost strand, and then I continue braiding. And once you do it a couple times, it becomes like muscle movement and it gets a lot easier. Now that we've come to the end of the braid, we're going to talk about how to end it, and you end it the same way. Oh yeah, should I get a better angle? Anyway, same way that you add curls, you add it to the middle and the rightmost. Oh my gosh. And then you just continue braiding down until you get to like the stopping point. I usually reference the stopping point with the other braids. So I'm just going to continue braiding down until I get to the other braids. And don't just like eyeball it, kind of like pick up the braid to see. Okay, Maybe I'm eyeballing it, but you should be picking up the braid to see, because like eyeballing it, I don't know what it is, but you might not get the same length every time. And then all I'm doing is I'm tying a knot at the end, and that is it. This is how the curls look like, and I think it looks so good. This is after doing a couple rows. It looks even better, and this is after doing a lot of rows. It looks too good. We were very happy with the result. So I went ahead and did the process one more time just to make sure that even if the other 2 times were bad, that I had something, that you would get something from at least one of them. Like if one of the angles were bad for either of them or either one, like, you know, you would like, one of these angles had to have worked. Anyways, so I'm gonna let you guys watch this one. I'm not gonna talk through this one. Simple. Divide into 3, start braid, add 3 pieces of braiding hair, continue braiding down, add curls to the middle of the rightmost strand, continue braiding down, add another curl, continue braiding down, seal it like you're adding curls. Oh, I also forgot to mention that when I do braid all the way down, that I do seal it with glue, and then I cut off the excess. And that's all for this video. This is how it turned out. She loved it. I loved it. Looked too good. I'll see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.